perspective, maybe in a particular polling unit, you see large crowd and you
Right.
decide to say that's a large turnout. You know, but until we start counting how many people that actually voted,
Right.
including voice votes and all that, okay, sizable number of people out of the 1.9 came out. Because the last election, less than 50% of the people came out to vote in the last Osun election, and of course, over all the other off-cycle election, the turnout has been abysmally low. But like I said before, Osun people are known for taking elections seriously. You know, I remember the first time I observed election there, somebody traveled all the way from Abuja here just
To
to
go cast
his
their
vote.
vote. Right.
And even today, when I was listening to the news, somebody came all the way from Cote d'Ivoire. You know, he flew in, or maybe he
Came by road.
by road or whichever way, but crossing the country to just cast one vote
Right.
shows you that these are the people that, these are the sort of people that don't joke with elections. So we are hoping that so far, if the whole thing will proceed this way, we can say that the election is free and fair. But again, remember that the manipulation and the violence during the election have shifted to the collation period. You know, and if any moment from now, collation will be taking place in all the polling units, and we are hoping that violence will not be transported to that particular point. So, but so far so good. I think the election started very well, except for the few disruptions that happened in some polling units.
Not long ago, you and I also talked about Ekiti State's gubernatorial election, which obviously was also an off-cycle election. But today, we're talking Osun. Would you say anything has improved, given what we have seen this far?
I think in terms of INEC logistics, there are a lot of marked improvement in the sense that if you could recall some couple of days back, there was court judgment that mandated INEC to include SDP, making the total contestant to be 15. And they have to start reprinting ballot papers.
Exactly, to capture equity.
And what do you call it, result sheets and all that. So for them to have been able to finish doing that and deploy all these materials and for the election to start on time today, I think is commendable. And of course, the functionality of beavers, we've not had a lot of complaint about it, you know, with exception of few, which is normal. We're talking of technology here. And of course, security operatives too, they are trying their best because so far they've been able to contain a lot of disruption of these activities, even though we have some couple of incidents, but that cannot be used to undermine the effort that they put in. Of course, the voters to turning out makes a lot of sense.
You know, we saw so much of very unpleasant rhetorics coming out of Osun State. Some instances, these actors were not even speaking from Osun State, but they were talking with regards to the election in Osun State. We saw accusations, counter accusations amongst politicians, political parties regarding perpetration of violence and so on and so forth. Do you think those factors have shaped this election at this point?
Well, to a large extent, it will, because when you get prominent people making some violent rhetoric, it has a way of resonating in the ear of the voters, you know, getting them to start taking sides and the like. You know, but then we are looking at Osun here. In spite of all that, from the report we're having, and most of them are turning up to come and vote, which is commendable, and that is what we should be looking at. And of course, they are doing all that because we live in an era where news is just at the fingertip. So we have some media team that their job is to spread misinformation, fake news, and disinformation and all that, which is aimed at discouraging voters from coming out, or which is aimed at discouraging other stakeholders from performing their duty properly. So, to a large extent, yes, from the news sphere, it will affect it, but in reality, I think people are getting to know that there's a difference between what we hear from the news and what is happening on ground. So it's only people that on ground are able to say, okay, yes, this violent rhetoric and everything is taking effect. Apart from that, I think it's what politicians are known for, and they do this and get away with it because, like I always say, we have beautiful laws, but when it comes to, you know, driving those laws and implementing it, becomes a problem. It becomes a case of who is the one violating the law.
Right.
For instance, the man that said that they will kill the APC member and all that, police only invited him to questioning, for questioning, and they allow him to go. In some places, if it were to be some not so important person, I don't think the person will get away. Maybe the person will still be in police custody till today.
When you look at all of these things, good or bad, right or wrong, I mean, whatever the case may be, how would you say, I mean, by your own assessment, they will have implications for 2027 general election?
Well, the 2027 general election now, artificial intelligence and other new media tools are going to play a lot of roles in misinforming people. Artificial intelligence has gone to the extent that you can hardly distinguish real news and the fake one. And of course, to a large extent, I think some bad politicians are going to use it. Some bad media teams are going to use it. And this is where law enforcement agencies need to come out and ensure that they, press the Cyber Act against any person that is using that, because we have the Cyber Crime Act,
Prohibition
2015, Cyber Act Prohibition Act 2015. So I think it's high time that the security agencies start training their people on how to ensure that people who uses the cyberspace to bully their fellow human being, uses it to spread fake news, misinformation and defamation are dealt with. Because as it is, artificial intelligence is so vast to the point that when they bring some video like this, the only thing that will tell you that is fake video is if you pass it through some fact-checking app.
For scrutiny.
For scrutiny. Otherwise, even the urbanite will be fooled, not to talk of the
rural dwellers.
Not very literate rural dwellers or not very literate voting population. And of course, the outcome of this election today now is going to show us what 2027 is going to look like in terms of INEC preparedness. Now, for instance, what we've seen today, at least if INEC can import that to 2027, at least to a very large extent, we are going to see a better commencement of polls during the general election. I can't say maybe because it's an off-cycle election, but it's commendable. Remember the last election in 2023, we had some polls opening around 3 p.m. in the evening. Some didn't even open till very late in the night. So we are hoping that this time around, if I can use any model that they used in deploying people, deploying materials in this past, in fact, the past couple of off-cycle election has been like that, early deployment of material. Because remember, if these materials are not deployed on time, it affects the whole election, the value chain. So we are hoping that INEC will be able to improve on this very well. Then hoping that the security agency to maintain neutrality the way it is. At least I commend the IGP of police with the step he has been taking. The CP now, the Commissioner of Police in Osun State now was deployed newly after they were complaining about the former one for being partisan, and again the troublemakers that have been condoned and all that. So we are watching and hoping that during the collation process, the security agency will be able to condone violence, make sure that there's no violence, curbed violence during the collation period, which is usually the time they come out to disrupt the process.
I want to ask you this on a final note. We've heard allegations quite on a disturbing scale about this, again, phenomenon of vote buying. At some point, we heard it was between the Accord Party and the APC, 20,000 sort of competitive offer, if you like. Is that not another shameful indication that this phenomenon has come to stay and is going to, from all indications, stretch into next year's elections?
Well, I think we've been crying about this vote buying for a very long time, but it seems that the political class continues to play deaf ear to it. For instance, now look at Osun and build up to the election. You see labeled rice, labeled bread. Labeled
in the names of political parties.
Political parties and political candidates and all that. This is a flagrant abuse of Section 125 of the Electoral Act 2026 as amended. Because you look at it now, for Section subsection 1 to 5 of that section 1 to 5, you will see that the penalty for vote buying is clearly spelled out, whether you are selling or you are collecting and all that.
The same rules apply.
Exactly, 2 million naira and 12 months imprisonment, as the case may be, 500,000 or 12 months imprisonment, or both, as the case may be. But you see that at the end of the day, don't know exactly what the EFCC and other anti-graft agencies are doing. This is where they need to wake up, because if people keep on selling votes and people are collecting and all that, then as we move on to 2027 election, it's going to embolden all those vote traders,
right?
Both the buyers and the sellers, because by the time people start buying vote, it means that they are losing their voice. At the end of the day, we'll start having leaders in power that will do nothing at the end of every 4 years, because at least they've sold their vote, or they bought their vote, and of course the money they invested in buying the vote, they have to recoup it first, and on recouping it, they have to still get more money to start waiting for the next election to buy more votes. So I think it's something we should condemn, and of course the anti-graft agency, all of them need to wake up this time around and make sure that they use some people in this Osun as an example. But so far, we've not, all we're hearing is allegation of vote buying and everything. We've not had any arrest made so far. So maybe they are compiling their list, but we've not had anybody arrested for selling votes or even buying.
As it stands right now, lastly, do you see our democracy being strengthened, or are we just performing rituals every 4 years and a few other times in between?
I think the greatest threat to democracy are the citizens themselves, right? People are very quick to blame political party or INEC and the like, but I think the citizens are the main problem when it comes to the threat to democracy. And why do I say so? It's the citizen that help the political party to commit all these atrocities. You can never see the son of a politician going to snatch ballot boxes or going to engage in violence of any kind, or even being at the forefront of buying votes or anything. It's normally the citizens that do that. It's the citizens that go as ad hoc staff for INEC and manipulate the result and help some of these politicians to rig and all that. So the citizens too that are working as security agencies, that when they receive directive from the IGP not to be partisan, they will still go ahead to be partisan at the end of the day. Then by the time a rogue leader emerges as a leader, people will now come out and be complaining that the country is hard and all that. So the citizens need to ask themselves if they really want this democracy to live. It's in our hand, because the authority to govern comes from the citizens. The citizens that gives the people in power the authority to govern. So until we repent and start looking at the right thing, doing the right thing, and of course ensuring that we don't allow politicians to have their way, we'll keep on suffering like this.
We hope we're able to turn the corner as quickly as possible, so that we begin to see some light at the end of the tunnel, as they say. Thank you so very much, James Gochukwu, for coming to spend this time with us. Very valuable. We're taking another quick break. We'll return, and that will be, as they say, the icing on the cake, to join our colleague who is on the ground somewhere on the outskirts of Osogbo to look at what has happened today, because by then votes would have officially closed in this election. Please make sure to stay with us.
Watch Skyline News on MyComSat and Free TV. Stay connected wherever you are by streaming us live on the Free TV app available for both iOS and Android devices via the App Store and Google Play. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Skyline TV News for breaking news, updates, and exclusive content. For more information, visit www.skylinetv.ng. Skyline News, beyond the headlines.
You can watch Skyline News on NightComSat and Free TV. Stay connected wherever you are by streaming us live on the Free TV app, available for both iOS and Android devices via the App Store and Google Play. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Skyline TV News for breaking news, updates, and exclusive content. For more information, visit www.skylinetv.ng. Skyline News, beyond the headlines.
Watch Skyline News on MyComSat and Free TV. Stay connected wherever you are by streaming us live on the Free TV app available for both iOS and Android devices via the App Store and Google Play. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Skyline TV News for breaking news, updates, and exclusive content. For more information, visit www.skylinetv.ng. Skyline News, beyond the headlines.
You can watch Skyline News on NightComSat and Free TV. Stay connected wherever you are by streaming us live on the Free TV app, available for both iOS and Android devices via the App Store and Google Play. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Skyline TV News for breaking news, updates, and exclusive content. For more information, visit www.skylinetv.ng. Skyline News, beyond the headlines.
Watch Skyline News on MyComSat and Free TV. Stay connected wherever you are by streaming us live on the Free TV app available for both iOS and Android devices via the App Store and Google Play. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Skyline TV News for breaking news, updates, and exclusive content. For more information, visit www.skylinetv.ng. Skyline News, beyond the headlines.
You can watch Skyline News on Nightcomsat and Free TV. Stay connected wherever you are by streaming us live on the Free TV app, available for both iOS and Android devices via the App Store and Google Play. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Skyline TV News for breaking news, updates, and exclusive content. For more information, visit www.skylinetv.ng. Skyline News, beyond the headlines.
Watch Skyline News on Nightcomsat and Free TV. Stay connected wherever you are by streaming us live on the Free TV app, available for both iOS and Android devices via the App Store and Google Play. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Skyline TV News for breaking news, updates, and exclusive content. For more information, visit www.skylinetv.ng. Skyline News, beyond the headlines.
You can watch Skyline News on Nightcomsat and Free TV. Stay connected wherever you are by streaming us live on the Free TV app, available for both iOS and Android devices via the App Store and Google Play. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Skyline TV News for breaking news, updates, and exclusive content. For more information, visit www.skylinetv.ng. Skyline News, beyond the headlines.
Watch Skyline News on Nightcomsat and Free TV. Stay connected wherever you are by streaming us live on the Free TV app, available for both iOS and Android devices via the App Store and Google Play. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Skyline TV News for breaking news, updates, and exclusive content. For more information, visit www.skylinetv.ng. Skyline News, beyond the headlines.
You can watch Skyline News on Nightcomsat and Free TV. Stay connected wherever you are by streaming us live on the Free TV app, available for both iOS and Android devices via the App Store and Google Play. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Skyline TV News for breaking news, updates, and exclusive content. For more information, visit www.skylinetv.ng. Skyline News, beyond the headlines.
Watch Skyline News on Nightcomsat and Free TV. Stay connected wherever you are by streaming us live on the Free TV app available for both iOS and Android devices via the App Store and Google Play. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Skyline TV News for breaking news, updates, and exclusive content. For more information, visit www.skylinetv.ng. Skyline News, beyond the headlines.
You can watch Skyline News on Nightcomsat and Free TV. Stay connected wherever you are by streaming us live on the Free TV app, available for both iOS and Android devices via the App Store and Google Play. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Skyline TV News for breaking news, updates, and exclusive content. For more information, visit www.skylinetv.ng. Skyline News, beyond the headlines.
We understand polls have officially closed across Osun State right now, unless, of course, where there are peculiarities and again subject to INEC guidelines, perhaps there will be a bit of an extension. In the meantime, we'll be joined shortly by one of our colleagues who is live on the ground on the fringes of Osogbo to help us understand what has happened essentially today and then give us a bit of an insight into what happens next going forward, especially given that coalition should be starting any time from now. And for the next handful of hours, we'll see those numbers rolling in from across different polling units and wards and, of course, local governments into Osogbo, where you have INEC headquarters in the state. My colleague, Moreno, Haniel and I are here to end what was started a couple of hours ago. I know somewhere you wish, somewhere in your heart, you wish you were in Osogbo to cast your vote. Honestly. Even though you're not from your state.
The way it was so peaceful. INEC got it this time.
You think they did, right?
Yes, I think it was INEC got it, the security agencies got it, and the people themselves got it. So, on that part, I think INEC really tried. It was more peaceful than everyone thought.
I'd expected,
yes. Right? It was very peaceful. Though Beaver still had problems over and over again in many places, but the summary of it was a bit better than what we usually see.
All right.
The counting now is what matters now.
Yes, I can imagine most Nigerians who had not really been who probably had been indifferent or passive the whole day, by now would be interested to see who won where and who exactly, essentially will carry the day. But like you mentioned, if INEC can get it right and the people turn out in their numbers to, as it were, cast their votes, or as we always say, to express their franchise. And then, of course, the security agencies on their part do their bit. I'm sure Nigeria and Nigerians indeed will get it right over time, because, again, we're just months away from the general election.
Yes, we should get it right. We should get it right this time. That is, if people don't bring up trouble again after the votes have been counted and results are beginning to appear. It was really impressive to see very old people.
Right. Aged people coming out, senior citizens.
They were there on the queue. Since the Beavers were not working, they were interviewed and they said whatever happens, they will stay here. If it takes them 10 hours, they must vote. Now, it's really impressive and it's exciting to see that we're really having hope in INEC.
Right.
You know, so we're getting it. I think years to come, we'll look back and say, we rose and fell, but somehow we staggered, but somehow we are here.
I think that's a wonderful and inspiring way to actually put it. We're still hoping we can establish connection with a colleague who is on the ground to just at least broaden the picture a little for you just before collation of these results started. And then, of course, we also need to look at issues around monitoring. There are several bodies, both local and international, that have monitored these very election. For instance, Yaga Africa says it has, or still sampling, about 300, polling units, just to use that as a kind of sample size, and to begin to use that as a basis to determine what exactly has transpired in this election. And you can find all of those data across their social media platforms. Besides, here on Skyline News, we've been able to look at the remote and extant issues regarding this election for you today. This looks like it's going to stretch into tomorrow, Sunday, given that as it stands right now, there's no information or any update as to whether collation has started or not. So. No. You probably will be following through with this from church tomorrow morning.
Yes, we will, and we'll keep you updated. And
right.
Somehow, I'm hoping. I like hope. I'm hoping that the results will please everyone in the States.
Right. Even if it doesn't necessarily favor you right now.
Yes, it will eventually favor every other person, everybody.
Right. So one way or another
in the States, and I think that will be an encouraging factor that people will get to trust INEC and the security agencies again. Yes, we keep you updated on how the results are coming up.
Right. One interesting thing about the election is that for the most part, maybe it's the uniqueness of our own environment. The person who doesn't win says it was rigged. The guy who wins says, I'm popular, the people love me, and then they voted in my favor. But you see, I'm sure by the time and the final analysis as a country, and then of course, in this case, INEC is able to establish that elections and indeed the processes are credible, they're free, they are fair, they are transparent. There's going to be more sportsmanship. Where, for example, I know that I've lost to Moreno, but I'm also mature, so to speak, enough to know that, well, one person has to win. We can't both win. And as such, what I do is I congratulate her and wait for the next round of election to see if there will be need for me to throw my hat in the ring. I remember in 2012, for example, it was Obama returning to the White House for the second term. And indeed, the results have shown clearly that he did win a former governor, Mitt Romney. And Mitt Romney was a bit reluctant to congratulate President Barack Obama as he was at the time. And there was this backlash from many Americans, including frontline politicians, to say, why did it take Mr. Romney 12 hours to congratulate Obama, that he delayed congratulating Obama? In my head, I'm like, hold on a second. Where we come from, it will take you 10 years and you are still not congratulated.
Oh no. and you keep nursing it. We have some people who have gone for presidency over and over again. And
every time they lose, it was rigged against them.
It was rigged against them, and they go to court and they spend 6 to 7 months. Then they stay back. Then after 4 years, they're back. As much as don't give up spirit.
Right.
But I think the sportsmanship thing comes into. But like I said, we're getting it.
Right.
We'll get there. America didn't get it the first time, nor the 10th time. Eventually, So with good orientation, I think if INEC gets it now, the next batch of INEC of people there will get better.
Right.
Because Nigerians, we have a way of comparing the previous and the present. So if I think this job they did is good, is applaudable to some extent compared to what used to be. Right. Everywhere was tight. The people were really afraid for violence, honestly. So I think we are getting it.
Right.
There will be that sportsmanship very soon. At least one of our presidents did that. President Goodluck Jonathan, he did that immediately.
Right.
He did that. So
today we are in a better place in our democracy.
Yes, yes. I think we're getting there. Somehow we'll get there. Nigeria is big, and funny, if Nigeria gets it, every other African country will follow suit.
Yeah, one at a time.
Yes. Nigeria is a pacemaker.
I bring you the advocates for peace, the advocates for let's get it right, one nation at a time on the continent of Africa. And quite frankly, that's what it is. The big brother, Nigeria, as it's often referred to, needs to lead the way. And once that happens, it means that this continent is gradually seeing a much brighter light regarding this thing called democracy and democratic rule. Incidentally, this is where we're closing our live studio and indeed live coverage of this special event, as I'd like to call it today. Thank you so very much, everyone, for being a part of it. We are also very profoundly grateful to all of our guests who took our time, made sacrifices, had to shelve a part of their schedules today just to be with us here. And of course, we are also grateful to our colleagues, especially from the technical department, who have paid so much of attention to details, ensuring that this live broadcast is made possible. I am Uji Agmofwebe.
I'm Marino Haniel. I will say, see you later when the results are out. We'll keep you updated. Do have a very lovely afternoon.
Watch Skyline News on MyComSat and Free TV. Stay connected wherever you are by streaming us live on the Free TV app, available for both iOS and Android devices via the App Store and Google Play. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Skyline TV News for breaking news, updates, and exclusive content. For more information, visit www.skylinetv.com.